hustle every single day. I'll be making.
Welcome back to the Bullion Breakdown. It's early in 2024, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to do a refresher on where you can buy your precious metals here in Canada. So I'm going to go through a list and showcase a few dealers and such that can offer up quality precious metals from reputable sources with a varying degree of pricing. But you'll see there's a range between some of these providers of the metals here in this market, but in and about they're all about the same. So we're going to look at three categories of dealers or sellers of precious metals here. And the first is, a traditional bullion dealer. So we'll look through a few of those, and then we'll look at the category of financial institutions like banks, because believe it or not, you can walk into a bank and buy precious metals here. At least not all financial institutions, but some. And then the third would be sort of outside of the traditional banking system as well, which would be wealth management companies. And we'll look at a provider here in Canada that does and focuses on bulk, selling of the precious metals. They also have solutions for storage. That's sort of again outside of traditional banking system. And then you can also have solutions for some registered funds. So if you wanted to take your invest in precious metals in your tax deferred government registered accounts or funds, you can do that through this mechanism as well. So we'll cover that today. Welcome back. Let's go through it. So let's start with AU Bullion, which is one of the most recent and frequent dealers that I use in my area. This is a Canadian dealer in the Toronto area. They do have local pickups in their location in Brampton, and they also have a location, or they did last time I checked, in Vancouver as well. But primarily, they do a lot of online stuff. So excellent site. I can vouch for my own purchases. They do deliver quickly. There are minimums, of course, and pricing is pretty decent. You can see. I'll just quickly go through the highlight here of some of their highlighted hot deals. They've got obviously some gold, silver. They have a really good selection of the different coins from each of the countries, and then some of the semi-numismatic as well as 10 ounces and the like that. They do break out some of their top products here. You can see silver seems to be most popular, which isn't a surprise based on the price of gold. They do go through their new arrivals, so a really good site here, really good breadth of metals to choose from. They break down their site by category, so you can go into each of these categories independent of each other and do further searches. And then they also offer additional services like selling of gold. I've never sold to this dealer, but I can imagine you're not getting great deals, as you would imagine at all dealers. They're hugging their price close to spot or even under in some cases these days. They do have some links to the Mint, Royal Mint in Canada here, and they do have a whole selection, like I said, of semi-numismatic and collectibles. So really good option here in Canada for selecting precious metals and looking for deals. OU Bullion. Okay, the next reputable dealer here is Canadian PMX. This is again in the local Toronto area, just north of the city. But this is a excellent, Canadian dealer that delivers nationwide, also to the U.S. And then obviously they have a really good storefront in Richmond Hill area in just north of Toronto, like I said. So this place, I think because of their store location, from a pricing standpoint, they seem to be a little bit higher than the other from my experience. And it depends on the metal. It also depends on the market, but they always tend to be on the little more premium, or they have higher premiums. So I would just call that out to anyone here. But they do have a really good selection of gold when you go to the store and online here, and also excellent coverage of the market and all the main metals when it comes to silver and gold. You can see here on the right hand side that they not only deal with the metals, but they have a coin and currency exchange, and they do a number of stuff within the estate jewelers and jewels and metals and necklaces and jewelry and stuff like that. So a little bit of everything with Canadian PMX. Another thing that they do is within their silver, they tend to have a deal with a local refinery, or they're doing something. I'm not quite sure, but they tend to have their own access to poured silver here, at least in the silver side. So this is Argentia. This is not theirs, but they do have deals with their own branded metals here. You can see this 10-ounce cast bar, Canadian PMX bar. So they have a number of different interesting pieces. They don't price them any differently. They're still kind of premium, believe it or not, even though they're home brewed. But they do have a lot of different options to choose from. Premium dealer here in Canada. Nothing bad to say about them. I have done a number of in-store purchases. Great if you have kids. You can take them to this location and show it off. And online, like I said, you can see the experience that you can get from this dealer here. So a really good experience, really positive. Again, not the cheapest of all the bunch here, but an excellent experience. Here's their location there. Okay, we're on to the next. Okay, third dealer is silvergoldbull.ca. A lot of the US viewers here might recognize this brand because it is available in the US as well with their .com. But Silver Gold Bull, excellent choice. I have done business with these guys. They're located in Calgary, Alberta, in Canada here. So, Western representation there. They do have a very dialed in business. Their shipping was really easy, the ordering process easy. You can see here they offer things like free shipping over a $300 amount. Everything's insured. They comment on best price guarantee. I don't do a ton of business with these guys just because of their prices. They're always a little bit higher than most of the other online dealers. Again, great product, great process, great service. But I've always looked at price as being a challenge with these guys. And now they're offering best price guarantee, which I don't believe they always had. I could be wrong. Again, don't use these guys a lot. They're not local for me, and I have a lot of options in the area that are oftentimes cheaper. However, like I said, they are a very reputable and very large dealer here in Canada, and they have a number of different options between their sales, their gold, silver, platinum collectibles, and jewelry. I would say primarily silver and gold is your typical bullion products, your mass produced stuff from all the different countries. And then they do have a deeper selection than most online providers here as far as their selection, both gold and silver from my experience. And their pricing obviously is volume based like the others, which I didn't mention. These guys, they list $34 here for this random year maple, but that doesn't mean that's your price. It'll be priced 1 to 10, et cetera, et cetera. So really good options here. Not the best website as I'm looking at it versus the others, but silvergoldbull.ca is a really good option if you're starting out and looking for different types of metals to start your collection. Now, I always say the coinshop.ca, and that's SHOPPE for shop. This is a real beauty of a store here in Canada. They do ship to the US as well, and they have a large distribution online, like they have an eBay store, etc. They're local in the Toronto area. I absolutely love this place. Um, because they have just a huge mix of options to choose from. And the one complaint I would have is they're probably the most expensive dealer on the market, but they absolutely come through with quality and different selections that other dealers in this area don't offer. Different series, you can see a lot of stuff from South Korea. This is where I get a lot of my Mexican Libertads. Like very few dealers that I find in Canada offer that. These guys are great for that, and I've picked up a number of products there. And again, anything semi-numismatic that you're looking for, you're gonna pay the premiums. Just same as you would if you were buying in other marketplaces. However, this is just a really great find for a coin stacker. And I think it's great to check out if you're interested in just looking around at the different selections that they have. It goes it goes beyond the norm. Like they have the typical bullion pieces, but please don't be targeting this dealer for those types of bullion pieces. Look for the hard to get stuff, low limited mintage, etc. The coin shop, really good. I bought a lot of stuff here. Sad to say, paid some premiums over the years, but funny enough, the investments that I made years ago, premiums aside, have turned out to be great growth investments. So, coinshop.ca, check it out. I'm not going to convince you to buy a different type of metal. Go with what you're going with and what's in your strategy. But excellent if you want to have some fun shopping with some really high end stuff here. Coinshop.ca. So this will be the last of the dealers that we will look at today. We've got some other providers to cover, but we will go through the last of the dealers that I use on a frequent basis, and I like to highlight it because it's great for in-store pickup. But I've also done online orders, even though they're fairly close. So bigger purchases oftentimes are sometimes smarter to do online, believe it or not, because of the insurance and what have you. But Toronto Gold Bullion is a really good source for metals here in the Toronto area. Free shipping on 500. So you can see a smaller operation here, but you have the larger operation like silverglobal.ca coming in at $300 or $299 for free orders. And this location, Toronto Gold Bullion, is at 500. Pricing wise, you will see it comparable to AU Bullion on the lower end to mid range scale in the market from what I see. Definitely, usually priced lower than Canadian PMX, definitely than Silver Gold Pull as well. So, not a bad place. And oftentimes you'll find some deals on certain pieces that you might not get on the rest of their inventory. So you got to really kind of search through these guys. They do have lots of options. And depending on the year and sort of the demand for the product, they'll have a range of, lots of options to, a few key options. All the major usual suspects would be covered in this location here. So great provider of bullion here in Canada. I have used both online and in store, like I said, and I can vouch for legitimacy and quality of product, whether you're receiving it in hand or over the mail in the mail. That is Toronto Gold Bullion. Last of the dealers today. Okay, we're going to move on to financial institutions and banking next. Really interesting. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit and look at financial institutions. And here in Canada, TD Bank is obviously a huge financial player in this market and still one of the remaining banks that offers precious metals for sale. So you can literally walk into any branch and you can order up what it is you're looking for. Now, very much more limited product availability at branch here. You're really limited to Canadian RCM products and not even a wide range of those. But you can see gold, silver, platinum to an extent when it's available, and they have a lot of RCM, numismatic stuff as well. They do feature some premium gold and coinage as well, but you can see Britannia show up. They also have the maples, the silver dragons, stuff like that. I won't spend a ton of time here. I have never purchased directly from the branch, again, mainly because of price. But I do see, and I have seen other people online highlight that there has been deals at TD branch when it comes to certain metals. $41 for the American Eagle, and then you see weird stuff that you don't necessarily see at the traditional dealers. Like I bet all the dealers that we focused on in this video already probably didn't carry the quarter ounce silver Britannia. I actually haven't seen a lot of those anywhere. It's sold out as well, but the fact that they had them, that's pretty cool. And you'll see some fancy maples, but again, 1/10 Britannia. They have a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Um, but generally good pricing. There's maples, $38, $39. So we were seeing, between starting price of 37, 38 elsewhere. And then it goes up from there as far as their options. But you can see that's pretty much the extent of what we have available through the branch. You can't sell, to my knowledge, directly in branch, but you can purchase. So if you're looking to get outside the dealer network for bullion, if you're not really familiar or you're not in an area where that's a local pickup option, and what have you, just know here in Canada that you could stop into a local TD branch and purchase precious metals. How cool is that? The last category you could source precious metals from, I would say, would be sort of wealth management companies. And here in Canada, there's a few of them. One of them is Guildhall. And these guys are interesting because they reach out through the community through local radio. They buy radio time and they have wealth hours and what have you. And they discuss things like precious metal, gold and silver, and diamonds a lot, but they also talk about how you can use your registered assets and retirement funds and purchase metals through that. So that they do have a different sort of spin on how they monetize the metals, but they do just obviously sell. So you can see here they do compete. They have really high quality silver options. Again, not the cheapest option, but they do allow for some type of purchase there with consumers. Now, I would say a lot of their pricing and everything is set up around bulk buys because they are, again, wealth management. They're looking at larger volume buyers, not always and not exclusively, but that's sort of their target, I would say. So you see a lot of their inventory is larger stock inventory. They're asking to buy bundles of 20 and 200 ounces. They have packages starting at 25 ounces. So they have a number of different things, and then they offer other products that shoot off the metals. So storage, third party managed storage, and the likes like that. And like I said, with registered funds. So Guildhall Wealth Management and other companies like them. By no means are they isolated in this market or running that show, but they're our player, and they do have sort of a consumer front through their radio strategy. So I thought I'd highlight that wealth management companies are also on top of banks and traditional bullion dealers are trading in the precious metals because obviously there's value there. So Guildhall Wealth, another good source of precious metals here in Canada. Okay, so we covered a lot there, and thanks for sticking with me. If you're interested in precious metals, I think this is a really good video for to start your search, at least in your stacking journey. We've covered dealers and a number of different sources at a number of different price points. We've covered banks, specifically TD was the highlighted there. I think there are others that offer that as well, and we've looked at outside of traditional banks and into wealth management firms and their availability and monetization of metals there and how they access those metals to the public. Lots of stuff to lots of areas that you can find metals in Canada. I hope this content was valuable. It was fun putting it together. I wanted to do a refreshed version of this in 2024, and this allowed me to do it. So everyone, I really appreciate you sticking with the video and sticking with the channel. Until next time, everyone, stay awesome.